Hi, welcome to the channel. Today is the third day, that is end of the sixth chapter, that is practical techniques in mental healings. Let's start. The argumentative method. This method is just what its name implies. It stems from the amazing work of Dr. Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, a pioneer in mental and spiritual healing who lived and practiced in Belfast, Maine, over a century ago. He was really the father of psychosomatic medicine and the first psychoanalyst. He also had a remarkable capacity to diagnose clear, clairvoyantly at the cause of the patient's trouble, pains, and aches. In brief, the argumentative method is as employed so successful by Quimby consists of spiritual reasoning. You convince the patient and yourself that the sickness is due to false beliefs, groundless fears, and negative patterns lodged in the subconscious mind. You reason it out clearly in your mind and convince your patient that the disease or ailment is due only to distorted, twisted pattern of thought that has taken form in the body. This wrong belief in some external power and external causes has now externalized itself as sickness and can be changed by changing the thought patterns. You explain to the sick person that the basis of all healing is a change of belief. You also point out that the subconscious mind created the body and all its organs. Therefore, it knows how to heal it, can heal it, and is doing so now as you speak. You argue in the courtroom of your mind that the disease is a shadow of the mind based on disease shocked, morbid thought imagery. You continue to build up all the evidence you can muster on behalf of the healing power within, which created all the organs in the first place, which has a perfect pattern of every cell, nerve, and tissue within it. Then you render a verdict in the courthouse of your mind in favor of yourself and your patient. You liberate the sick one by faith and spiritual understanding. Your mental and spiritual evidence is overwhelming. Since there is but one mind, what you feel as true is made manifest in the experience of the patient, and healing follows. The absolute method is like modern ultrasound therapy. Many people uh, throughout the world practice this form of prayer treatment with wonderful results. The person using the absolute method mentions the name of the patient. Then she silently thinks of God and his qualities and attributes, such as God is all bliss, boundless love, infinite intelligence, all powerful, boundless wisdom, absolute harmony, indescribable, indescribable beauty, and perfection. As she quietly thinks along these lines, her consciousness is lifted into a new spiritual dimension. She feels the infinite ocean of God's love dissolving everything unlike itself in the mind and body of the patient for whom she is praying. She feels the power and love of God are now focused on the patient. Whatever is bothersome or vexing is now completely neutralized in the presence of the infinite ocean of life and love. The absolute method of prayer might be compared to the least developments compared to the latest developments in ultrasound therapy. These were explained to me recently by a distinguished physician in Los Angeles. The device she uses in her work generates powerful sound waves at extremely high frequencies. When these are focused on areas of the body where there are abnormal tissues and the abnormal tissues, the affected cells resonate to the ultrasound and respond to it. To the degree that we rise in consciousness by contemplating the qualities and attributes of God, we generate spiritual waves of harmony, health, and peace. Those on whom these waves are focused then resonate there to them and respond. Many remarkable healings have been achieved by this technique of prayer. A crippled person walks. Dr. Quimby often used the absolute method in the later years of his healing career. One of his manuscripts describes how he healed a crippled woman. He was called on to visit this woman who was lame, aged, and bedridden. He stated that her ailment was due to the fact that she was imprisoned by a creed too small and contracted that she could not stand upright and move about. She was living in the tomb of fear and ignorance because she took the Bible literally. It frightened her. In this tomb, Quimby said, was the presence and power of God trying to burst the bands, break through the bonds, and arise from the dead. When the woman would ask others for an explanation of some passage of the Bible, the answer would be a stone. Then she would hunger for the bread of life. Dr. Quimby diagnosed her case as mind cloudy and stagnated due to excitation and fear caused by the inability to see clearly the meaning of the passage of the Bible that she had been reading. This showed itself in her body by the heavy and sluggish feeling that would terminate as paralysis. At this point, Quimby asked her what was meant in the Bible verses. Yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. John 7 verses 33-34. She replied that it meant Jesus went to heaven. Wembley explained what it really meant by telling her that being with her a little while meant his explanation of her symptoms, feelings, and their causes. He had compassion and sympathy for her momentarily, but he could not remain in that mental state. The next step was to go to him that sent us. This, Quimby pointed out, was the creative power of God in all of us. Quimby immediately traveled in his mind and contemplated the divine ideal. That is the vitality, intelligence, harmony, and power of God functioning in the sick person. This is why he said to the woman, therefore, where I go, you cannot come, for you are in your narrow, restricted belief, and I am in health. This prayer and explanation produced an instantaneous sensation, and a change came over her mind. She walked without her crutches. Pimbi said it was one of the most singular of all his healings. She was, as it were, dead to error, and to bring her to life or truth was to raise her from the dead. Pimbi quoted the resurrection of Christ and applied it to her own Christ or health. This produced a powerful effect on her. He also explained to her that the truth that she accepted was the angel or idea that rolled away the stone of fear, ignorance, and superstition. This then released the healing power of God, which made her whole. The decree method. Power goes into our word according to the feeling and faith behind it. When we realize the power that moves the world, it is moving on our behalf and is backing up our word, our confidence and assurance grow. You do not try to add power to power. There must be no mental striving, coercion, force, or mental wrestling. A young woman used the decree method on a young man who was constantly phoning her, pressing her for dates. She found it very difficult to get rid of him. When he began to show up at her workplace, she realized that she had to do something drastic at once. Several times a day, she put herself into a quiet state and repeatedly decree as follows: I release GR unto God. He is in his true place at all times. I am free and he is free. I now decree that my words go forth into infinite mind and it brings it to pass. It is so. According to her, the young man immediately disappeared from her life. She has never seen him since. She says it was as if the ground swallowed him up. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon the ways. Job 22 verses 28. Serve yourself with scientific truth. Be a mental engineer and use tried and proven techniques in building a grander and greater life. Your desire is your prayer. Picture the fulfillment of your desire now and feel its reality, and you will experience the joy of the answered prayer. Desire to accomplish things the easy way with the sure aid of mental science. You can build a radiant health, success, and happiness by the thoughts you think in the hidden studio of your mind. Experiment scientifically until you personally prove that there is always a direct response from the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind to your conscious thinking. Feel the joy and restfulness in foreseeing the certain accomplishment of your desire. And any mental picture you have in your minds is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. A mental picture is worth a thousand words. Your subconscious will bring to pass any picture held in the mind backed by faith. Avoid all effort or mental version in prayer. Get into a sleepy, rosy state and lull yourself to sleep, feeling and knowing that your prayer is answered. Remember that the thankful heart is always close to the riches of the universe. To affirm is to state that it is so, and as you maintain this attitude of mind as true, regardless of all evidence to the contrary, you will receive an answer to your prayer. Generate waves of harmony, health, and peace by thinking of the love and the glory of God. What you decree and feel as true will come to pass. Decree harmony, health, peace, and abundance. And thus, today was the end of the sixth chapter. In the next session, we will start the seventh chapter, that is, the tendency of the subconscious is life word. So, if you are new on the channel, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notification about all new videos upload. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.